My 8-year-old son, Zane, was dancing in the living room showing me his moonwalk and excited about going to his aunt's wedding when my phone buzzed with a text from the bride's mother. She said, "Hey, my daughter's wedding is tomorrow, and I'm not having your little freak son ruining it. Besides, she already deals with that creature enough. When babysitting, don't bring him. I'm deadly serious." While Zane read over my shoulder and his face crumpled as he saw the words freak and creature. My 8-year-old son, Zane, was dancing in the living room excited about going to his aunt's wedding. Being autistic, he didn't get to go places with other people, so this was big for him. He was just finished showing me his moonwalk when my phone buzzed. It was the bride's mother. "Hey, my daughter's wedding is tomorrow, and I'm not having your little freak son ruining it. Besides, she already deals with that creature enough when babysitting. Don't bring him. I'm deadly serious." I stared at the text in disbelief. Before I could respond, Zane had climbed onto the couch next to me. "Is that about the wedding?" I tried to turn the phone away, but he'd already seen it. His face crumpled as he read the words freak and creature. She doesn't want me?" His voice was tiny. "I'm a creature?" The tears started immediately. Not a tantrum, just silent tears rolling down his face. "I thought Aunt Jessica loved me." "She does love you, buddy. This is Reagan, not Jessica." Reagan texted again. "I hired security. Your son's name isn't on the list." Zane saw that one too. "Security? Like police? To keep me out?" I texted back, "Jessica loves him. She'd be heartbroken if he wasn't there." Her response was instant. "It's my money paying for this wedding. My rules." Zane was full on sobbing now. "I practiced my dancing for nothing. I wanted to show everyone my moonwalk." I pulled him into my lap. "Listen to me. We are going to that wedding. Reagan doesn't get to decide who loves you. But the security? Screw security. Aunt Jessica invited us. That's all that matters." I wiped his tears. "You want to go shopping for the coolest wedding outfit ever?" His eyes lit up slightly. "Really? Really? We're going to make you look so awesome that Reagan's gonna be mad she tried to keep you out." A small smile appeared. "Can I get dinosaur something?" "Dinosaur everything if you want." He jumped up. "We're really going? Promise?" "Promise. Now go get your shoes. We've got shopping to do." The next morning, Zane was bouncing with excitement as we entered the suit store. "I want something Reagan will hate," the clerk laughed. "Let's make you unforgettable. Blue tie because Aunt Jessica loves blue." "Perfect choice," she said, then whispered to me, "Trouble with in-laws? Mother of the bride doesn't want him there because of his autism, but the bride loves him and does." Her face hardened. "Come with me, sweetheart. We're going to make you rock the show." She brought out dinosaur-tinted glasses. "These are very trendy right now." Zane's jaw dropped. "Dinosaur glasses? Can I, Dad? Please?" Reagan would absolutely lose her mind. "Absolutely." My phone buzzed. "Reagan, security will remove you both." The clerk saw my face. "What else can we add?" "Oh, suspenders?" "Dinosaur suspenders?" Zane screamed. "Add them," I said. At the card store, Zane went straight for the biggest, most obnoxious card. "This one has glitter that falls out. Perfect. Maximum mess." He carefully wrote, "I love you, Aunt Jessica," and then absolutely covered it in dinosaur stickers. Reagan's gonna hate these dinosaurs. My phone rang. "Jessica, Mom said Zane's sick?" "Not sick at all. Your mom doesn't want him there." "What? Number? He's coming. In fact, I have a special job for him. Unofficial ring bearer. Don't tell Mom." Meanwhile, Zane discovered temporary tattoos. "Dad! Dragon tattoos! Get 3 packs. She's gonna be so mad." He was actually giggling now. At home, Zane picked the brightest flowers from our garden. Every color, like a dinosaur. He wrapped them in neon pink paper towels with orange ribbon. "This is the ugliest bouquet ever. She'll hate it, but Aunt Jessica will think it's funny." Cousin texted, "Heard what Reagan did. We've got your back. Also, Grandma's coming. Reagan banned her last year. This is gonna be epic." I texted back. Zane modeled his complete look. Suit, dinosaur glasses, suspenders, dragon tattoos on both hands. "Do I look annoying?" "Spectacularly annoying." Reagan sent a photo. "Security knows your faces." Zane saw it. "Dad, what if they really don't let us in? Then we make such a scene that Jessica comes out and gets us." "Can I yell really loud?" "The loudest." He practiced his entrance. "Aunt Jessica, it's me, Zane, the one Reagan hates." In the car, he was ready for war. Dinosaur glasses on, clutching his glitter bomb card. "Dad, Reagan's gonna be so embarrassed." "That's the plan, buddy." Pulling up, my cousin waved us through the door. "Reagan's already drunk at the bar. You're clear." We walked in. Reagan spotted us immediately, her face contorting in rage. She started power walking over, wobbling in her heels. "Aunt Jessica!" Zane screamed across the entire venue. Jessica turned, squealed with delight. "Zane, my baby!" She ran over in her wedding dress, scooping him up. "Your glasses, your suspenders, you look incredible. I brought you ugly flowers. Reagan hates them." Jessica burst out laughing. "They're perfect." Reagan reached us, seething. "I specifically said, Mom, did you try to ban my nephew?" "He's not your nephew. He's family, and his dinosaur glasses are amazing." Grandma appeared. "Reagan, still gatekeeping weddings, I see." Reagan's face went white. "You weren't." "Jessica invited me. Unlike you, she has a heart." During the ceremony, Zane sat perfectly still, except for adjusting his dinosaur glasses dramatically every few minutes. When they kissed, he yelled, "Finally!" The whole room laughed. Reagan looked ready to combust. At the reception, Zane moonwalked across the entire dance floor, dinosaur glasses reflecting the lights. Reagan's own sisters high-fived him. Jessica pulled him up for a special dance, announcing, "My favorite person here." That's when Reagan stood up, storming toward the DJ booth. The music cut. She grabbed the mic. "This child was not invited and needs to be removed." Reagan's voice screamed through the speakers, making everyone in the room freeze. 200 pairs of eyes turned between Reagan at the microphone and Zane still standing on the dance floor. My blood turned cold watching my son's dinosaur glasses slip down his nose, his bottom lip starting to shake. "He's a problem!" Reagan kept going, her words coming out slurred and angry. "This is my daughter's special day and I won't have it ruined by some. Jessica jumped up from the head table so fast her chair fell backward. Her white dress swished as she ran toward her mother at the DJ booth. "Mother, stop!" Jessica's voice cut through the whole room. She reached for the microphone, but Reagan pulled it away, holding it above her head like a prize. "Everyone needs to know what kind of creature you brought to our family party," Reagan shouted into the mic. Zane's whole body started shaking. I watched him begin to rock back and forth, the thing he does when he's really scared. I pushed through the crowd trying to get to him, but Grandma beat me there. She wrapped her arms around him tight. "You're perfect, sweetheart," she said loud enough for the nearby tables to hear. "Don't listen to her." Robert stood up from the head table and walked calmly to the DJ booth, his jaw set hard. "Reagan, Reagan, you're drunk. Give me the microphone. She held it tighter against her chest. This is my money, my wedding, and that thing shouldn't be here. The word thing made people gasp all around the room. Several of Robert's family members stood up from their tables. His mother called out from across the room, Reagan, that's enough. He's a child. I finally reached Zane and dropped to my knees, pulling him against me as tears ran down his face. I'm ruining everything again, he cried into my shoulder, his little body shaking. No, buddy, you're not ruining anything, I told him, holding him tight. Reagan is the one ruining things. Jessica finally managed to grab the microphone away from Reagan, yanking it hard. Everyone, I'm so sorry, she said, her voice shaking but strong. My nephew Zane is exactly where he belongs, with family who loves him. Reagan tried to grab the mic back, but Robert stepped between them, blocking her with his body. You're choosing that creature over your own mother? Reagan yelled, her voice carrying even without the microphone. That's when David stood up from his table. Reagan's husband had this look on his face I'd never seen before, dark and angry and done. Reagan, we're leaving. Now, David's voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. What? David, no! Reagan pointed at us, her arm shaking. They need to leave. David was already walking toward her, his steps steady and sure. I've watched you do this for 20 years, he said, reaching the DJ booth. You did it to my sister, to my mother, and now to an 8-year-old boy. I'm done. The room went so quiet you could hear the air conditioning humming. Reagan's face went from red to white in seconds. David, you don't understand. He's autistic. He'll ruin— The only person ruining anything is you. David's voice boomed across the whole room, making Reagan step back. Zane pulled on my sleeve, his dinosaur glasses sitting crooked on his face. Dad, should we go? I don't want Aunt Jessica's wedding to be sad. Before I could answer, Jessica appeared beside us, dropping to her knees in her wedding dress right there on the floor. Zane, sweetheart, you are the best part of this whole day, she said, tears running down her face and messing up her makeup. I'm so sorry about my mom. Will you dance with me, please? Zane looked at me, then back at Jessica, confused. But Reagan said— He started. Reagan is wrong, Jessica said firmly, taking his hands in hers. You're not a creature or a thing. You're my favorite nephew, and I love your dinosaur glasses and your moonwalk and everything about you. The DJ, who'd been watching everything happen, leaned into his microphone. How about we get this party started again? This one's for Zane. The opening notes of the song Zane had been moonwalking to earlier filled the room. Something doesn't add up about Reagan paying for this whole wedding when her own husband David seems completely fed up with her behavior. Makes me wonder if there's more to their financial situation than Reagan's letting. Half the room started clapping to the beat right away. Robert's mom shouted from her table, Come on, Zane! Show us that moonwalk again! Zane wiped his nose with his sleeve, and I saw a tiny smile starting to show. Reagan started walking toward us, wobbling in her heels and nearly tripping. This is my wedding. I paid for everything. But Grace and 3 other cousins stepped in front of her, making a wall with their bodies. Actually, Mom, Jessica stood up, smoothing down her dress. Robert's parents paid for half, and they want Zane here. Robert's dad nodded from across the room, raising his drink. The boy stays. Reagan spun around, looking for someone, anyone, to take her side, but even her own sisters were shaking their heads at her. You've gone too far this time, Reagan, one of them called out. Zane suddenly stood up, pushing his dinosaur glasses back up his nose with determination. I want to dance with Aunt Jessica. He took her hand, and they walked to the middle of the dance floor together. The whole room let out this collective "oh" sound as Jessica and Zane started dancing. He did his moonwalk while she spun around him, her dress floating out like a cloud. People pulled out their phones, recording everything. Reagan made one last desperate move, heading for the door marked office. I'm getting the manager. This is against the law. David followed her, shaking his head like he couldn't believe this was his life. While Reagan was gone, the music kept playing, and Zane kept dancing with Jessica. When the song finally ended, he took this big dramatic bow that made everyone laugh and clap even louder. Dinosaurs are awesome! Someone shouted from the back, and Zane's whole face lit up as he pushed his glasses up proudly. Robert walked over and lifted Zane right up onto his shoulders. This is my new nephew, everyone. The coolest kid at this wedding. Zane laughed for real now, all those earlier tears completely gone. From up on Robert's shoulders, he could see the whole room full of people smiling at him, clapping for him, loving him. About 5 minutes later, Reagan came back dragging this tired-looking man in a black suit, the venue manager. These people weren't invited, she said, pointing right at us. The manager looked around the room, at Jessica in her wedding dress laughing, at Zane up on Robert's shoulders, at everyone having a great time. Ma'am, I see a wedding party with happy guests, the manager said carefully. The bride clearly wants them here. Reagan's face turned purple. I'm paying for this venue. Actually, Robert's father stood up, pulling out his phone. I have the receipt right here. We paid our half directly. Our names are on the contract too. The manager nodded and just walked away, leaving Reagan standing there. Reagan stood alone in the middle of the room with everyone staring at her. You're all going to regret this, she said, her voice cracking. Jessica, you're out of the will. Jessica actually laughed, like really laughed. Mom, you've been using that will threat for 15 years. I don't care about your money. I care about family. Real family that loves no matter what. David came back carrying Reagan's purse and coat. We're leaving, Reagan. Now. She tried to argue, but he was already guiding her toward the door. You can stay at your sister's tonight. I need to think. As Reagan got let out, she turned back one more time. That child will ruin your life, Jessica. Jessica walked over and took Zane's hand. The only thing being ruined tonight is your relationship with everyone who matters. The room stayed quiet for a moment after the door closed behind them. Then Grandma raised her glass high. To Zane, the best dancer at this wedding. Everyone raised their glasses, shouting, To Zane! Zane hid his face in my shoulder, happy but overwhelmed by all the attention. Dad, everyone likes me. I hugged him tight. They don't just like you, buddy. They love you. About 10 minutes later, the DJ leaned into his microphone. Special request from the bride. Everyone on the dance floor for the Zane train. Music started pumping, and Jessica led a conga line with Zane right at the front, his dinosaur glasses catching all the disco lights. He added his moonwalk moves to the conga line, and everyone behind him tried to copy it, laughing when they couldn't get it right. Robert's mom found me standing at the edge of the dance floor. Your boy is wonderful. Reagan's been a problem at every family party. Thank you for standing up to her. I watched Zane leading that conga line, adding spins and slides, everyone following him like he was the Pied Piper. He just wanted to celebrate his aunt's love. That's all he ever wanted. The party kept going strong for another hour hour when David came back alone. He found me by the bar, looking tired but somehow lighter. I'm filing for divorce Monday, he said. 20 years of watching her hurt people. Your boy was the last straw. I'm sorry, I told him, and I meant it. David shook his head. Don't be. Zane did us all a favor. Sometimes it takes a child's honesty to show us what we've been ignoring. Jessica and Robert came to find us for the official photos. We want Zane in all the family pictures, Jessica said. He's family. Real family. Zane fixed his dinosaur glasses all importantly, making sure they were perfectly straight. The photographer arranged everyone, putting Zane right in front. Perfect. The dinosaur glasses are actually great. Zane smiled huge, and for one shot he did his moonwalk pose that made everyone crack up. Later during the cake cutting, Jessica called Zane up to the front. My nephew gets the first piece after us, she announced. Reagan's empty chair at the head table seemed to stare at everyone, but nobody cared. Zane carefully took his cake plate, then stopped. Aunt Jessica, will Reagan be mad at you forever because of me? Jessica knelt down in her dress. Baby, Reagan's anger is her choice. My love for you is mine. We were all eating cake when suddenly sparkles started falling from the ceiling vents like snow. The glitter I'd put in there earlier had finally worked loose from the air conditioning. I forgot about that, Zane shouted, jumping up with joy. Instead of being upset, everyone laughed and started dancing in the glitter rain. This is the best wedding ever, someone shouted. Jessica spun around in the sparkles, her white dress catching the light like a disco ball. Robert grabbed the microphone. Everyone, this glitter is courtesy of my new nephew Zane. Reagan said he'd ruin the wedding. Instead, he made it magical. The crowd cheered and kept dancing in the falling glitter. By 11:30, the party was winding down, and Zane had fallen asleep in my lap, still wearing his dinosaur glasses. Jessica and Robert stopped by our table one more time before they left. Thank you, Jessica whispered, touching Zane's hair gently, for bringing him anyway, for fighting for him. Reagan stole so much joy from my life. Not anymore. Robert added, we want Zane at every family event, every birthday, every holiday, and Reagan won't be there to stop it. I nodded, feeling something heal inside me that I didn't even know was broken. I carried sleeping Zane out to the car, his dinosaur glasses crooked on his face, glitter stuck in his hair. The parking helper who brought our car around said, that your boy who did the moonwalk? He was amazing. In the car, Zane woke up briefly as I buckled him in. Dad, did I do good? I kissed his forehead. You did perfect, buddy. You were exactly yourself, and that's always good. He smiled and fell back asleep. As I drove home, my phone kept buzzing with texts, photos, and videos from the wedding, all showing Zane dancing, laughing, being loved. Each message said something like, your son is wonderful, or Reagan was so wrong. The next morning, Zane woke up and immediately put on his dinosaur glasses. Can we go to more weddings? He asked over breakfast, but only ones where they want me there, not where I'm a creature. You're never a creature, I told him firmly. You're Zane. You're perfect. He thought about this while eating his cereal. Reagan thought I was a creature. Reagan was wrong about a lot of things. Around 10, Jessica texted a photo from the photographer. The family picture with Zane front and center, his dinosaur glasses and huge smile the focal point of the whole shot. Her message said, ordering 100 copies. Reagan can stay mad. That afternoon, David called. I wanted you to know, I'm setting up a college fund for Zane. Reagan controlled our money for years, using it to hurt people. Time to use it for good. I didn't know what to say. David, you don't have to. I want to. That boy showed more courage last night than most adults ever do. He deserves every opportunity. A week later, at Zane's regular therapy appointment, he told his therapist all about the wedding. Everyone clapped for my moonwalk, and Aunt Jessica said I was the best part. His therapist smiled at me over his head. This was huge progress from the boy who'd believed he was a creature just a week ago. And you know what? Zane continued, swinging his legs from the chair. When the glitter fell, nobody got mad. They said it was magic. Maybe being different isn't bad. The therapist wrote notes, nodding with a smile. How does that make you feel, Zane? Like maybe I'm not wrong. Like maybe I'm just me, and that's okay. He swung his legs harder, thinking, Reagan was the one who was wrong, not me. The therapist set down her pen and leaned forward. That's a very grown-up thing to understand, Zane. You're absolutely right. 2 weeks later, David called while Zane was at school. Thought you should know. Reagan signed the divorce papers. She's moving to Florida to live with her sister. How are you doing? I asked, because even though Reagan was awful, divorce is still hard. Better than I have in years, David said. I'm seeing my own family again. Reagan had me cut them off years ago. Reagan's threat about the will gets me thinking. How many times has she used that same tired line to control Jessica? The way David just quietly decides on divorce while watching all this unfold makes me wonder what other moments he's been storing up inside him over their 20 years together. My sister cried when I called her. Good for you, David. Listen, I meant what I said about Zane's college fund. It's all set up. That boy saved my life by just being himself. 3 weeks after that, Jessica called with news that made Zane jump around the living room for 10 minutes straight. I'm pregnant, and guess what we're calling the baby if it's a boy? What? Zane asked, pressing his face against my phone. Zane, after the bravest kid I know. Zane's eyes went huge behind his dinosaur glasses, which he still wore every day. Really? A baby named after me? Really? You showed me what real family means. I want my baby to be just as brave as you. A month after the wedding, Zane had to do a presentation at school about an important event in his life. He stood in front of his class wearing his dinosaur glasses and told the whole story. My great aunt tried to ban me from a wedding because I'm autistic, he said clearly, not ashamed anymore. But I went anyway, and you know what? Everyone else wanted me there. Sometimes one mean person doesn't speak for everyone. His teacher had tears in her eyes. Zane, that was incredibly brave. Class, what can we learn from Zane's story? A girl raised her hand. That being different doesn't mean being wrong? Exactly, the teacher said, and that standing up for yourself matters. Zane sat down with his head high. 3 kids asked to see his dinosaur glasses at recess. 2 months after the wedding, Reagan tried to reach out. She sent a letter, an actual paper letter, to our house. Zane found it first and brought it to me. It's from Reagan, he said, recognizing her name on the return address. I opened it and read it out loud. I've had time to think. Perhaps I was too harsh. If you apologize for disrupting my daughter's wedding, we can discuss Zane attending future family events with proper supervision. Zane looked at me. She still thinks I did something wrong. Yes, she does. Should we write back? I pulled him onto my lap. What do you think? He thought hard, pushing his glasses up. Number. She's not really sorry. She just wants us to say we were wrong, and we weren't. That's very smart, buddy. We threw the letter away together. 3 months after the wedding, we had had Christmas at Jessica and Robert's new house. The whole family came, David included, looking happier than I'd ever seen him. Reagan's absence felt like a gift itself. Zane performed his moonwalk for everyone, and this time he added new moves he'd been practicing. Jessica, now showing her pregnancy, danced with him despite Robert's worried hovering. Remember when Reagan said you'd ruin everything? Grandma said, watching Zane teach his younger cousins the moonwalk. She was wrong about everything, I said. David overheard and came over. You know what the saddest part is? Reagan's alone in Florida, missing all of this. She chose her pride over her family. That night, as I tucked Zane into bed at home, he asked me something that showed just how far he'd come. Dad, do you think Reagan is sad? Probably. I'm not glad she's sad, he said carefully, but I'm glad she can't make other people sad anymore. That's a good way to think about it. He adjusted his dinosaur glasses on the nightstand. He'd gotten 3 more pairs since the wedding, all different colors. Dad, thank you for not letting her make me think I was wrong. You were never wrong, Zane. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. I know that now, he said. The wedding taught me, not everyone has to love me, but the people who matter do. I kissed his forehead, thinking about the terrified boy who'd thought he was a creature just 3 months ago. That boy was gone, replaced by this confident kid who knew his worth. Dad, he said as I reached the door. Yeah, buddy. Next time someone calls me a creature, I'm going to say, no, I'm a dinosaur, and put on my glasses. I laughed. That's perfect. And it was. My boy had learned the most important lesson of all, that other people's opinions of him couldn't change who he was. Reagan had tried to break him, but instead, she'd helped him find his strength. He wasn't a creature or a problem or anything she'd called him. He was Zane, and that was more than enough. Thanks for hanging out and wondering about stuff with me today. Definitely some interesting moments in there. See you next time. Like the video. It helps more than you think.